Welcome to Daily Plunge. We're in the Gospel, Luke chapter 7, verses 1 through 17. Now, Jesus has just finished preaching about how one is to live by grace, by faith, rather than by works, and saying, look at me, aren't I one of you? And as he enters Capernaum, which is really a Roman city, the Jewish people come to Jesus and say, hey, we got this guy that deserves for you to come and heal his servant. Now, he is a centurion. This is a Roman soldier and politician, really. And one of his servants is deathly ill. You need to do something for him because he's nice, because he does good things for us, and he built our synagogue. What's interesting is that the centurion sends word and says, I do not deserve for you to come under my roof. I am not worthy of it. And so it's interesting that while the Jews, who should be people of the covenant and by faith, they're operating out of works and out of the law, whereas the pagan assumes that isn't any good. And he says, if you will simply say the command, Jesus, you can heal him, which is an amazing statement to recognize that Jesus has authority over death and life. And so Jesus says, I've never seen such faith even in Israel. Here is a man who truly recognizes that when God simply speaks, he brings about his reality. In fact, there is this word there where Jesus says, and this is in the next passage about the widow of Nain. So let's jump into that. Jesus continues on his way. He's being followed by his 12 disciples and a whole host of other folks who are hanging on his every word. He comes to this town and there is a funeral procession. This poor widow, her husband's dead. There's no one else but this boy, this son, and he is dead. And Jesus comes along and he puts his hand on the bier, in a sense, the casket, as they're carrying it off to the cemetery. Really, it would have been a shocking moment. And Jesus says to the widow, don't cry. What do you mean, don't cry? My son is dead. My future is dead with him. And it says that Jesus says to the young man, I say to you, get up. Now, the Greek word there is lego. The root of that is logos. So logo and logos, it is the word of God that makes something happen, right? And so he simply speaks, and the dead man sat up and began to talk, and Jesus gave him back to his mother. And the God that we follow is the God of life and death. He's God. He has authority over death, and he is the God that gives life. And it says how the people were filled with awe and praise. And are we filled with awe and praise? Do we trust God to provide life for us? Is that what we're celebrating when we come together as God's people? That the God that we worship, Jesus Christ, has authority over everything in our lives that we are fearful of. Well, thanks, friends. Have a blessed day.